I love foiling. And I still see no comments, double checking. We're connected. Oh, I hear Whitney coming back. Maybe I did something wrong. Are we good? I still see no comments.
Yeah, it's not on. Hi, friends.
Oh, I do see one. Debbie said good morning.
Is it red up here? Does it say live?
Live? Mm-hmm.
Okay, then
I
you're
got
live.
Debbie and she's red, so that's the which
That's
comments?
YouTube.
That's YouTube. Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Maybe we're having troubles on Facebook, so let's
Could be.
see
Oh, now I
what
have red and blue, so we're good
You
on
do?
both. Yes,
Okay, you're
we're
good.
Sorry, y'all. Thanks for hanging. Good morning. Thanks for joining today. Maybe there was just some sort of delay because the internet's tired too. It's Thursday. Thank you. Oh, all kinds now. I was worried there for a minute. Like I said, we're going to talk about foiling today. And just a reminder that foiling offer that goes on till Sunday is if you buy 10 or 5, let me start with the first one. If you buy 5 packs, you get 10% off. If you buy 10 packs, you get 20% off. And that goes until Sunday. So make sure you grab your foilets if you haven't already. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Southern California. Hello. Awesome. Hello from Cedar Rapids. I have family over there, so I drive over there quite a bit. Hello from Sacramento. Good morning. Thanks for joining me. And then the other thing is, don't miss out on Advent calendar. I know people regret missing it, and that goes until the 15th, so you have a little past the weekend for that one. But the Foilet special goes through Sunday, and then the Advent calendar sign up goes through Tuesday, so you'll want to sign up for that. And then if you're someone that is a part of the quad, don't forget to join us tomorrow for the quad reveal. Very cool. And yeah, we're going to mainly talk about foiling today. And like I said, if I was live at the beginning, that is one of the things that I really enjoy. I think it might be because it kind of looks like embossing without the powder and the heat tool. So we're going to walk through that today. So I think that's all the things to keep you up on besides getting into the project, I guess. So let's get going. There we go. These are what I'm going to walk you through today. This set of foilets comes in 2 different designs in the pack. It's called a new leaf foilet, and it matches the new leaf stencil that has been around in TE's collection for a while. So these are the 2 patterns you get. You get 6 of this one and 6 of this one. And again, it's still printed on our sugar cube cardstock, but it's meant to go with our new leaf stencil. So the cool part is that lines up, and it can either give you can run this through with some foil on it, and it will give you little flicks, like is on this one in the middle of your leaf. So this one I use silver foil on it. Or this one gives you a more solid image, which I use the pink quartz foil on. And I'm going to walk you through doing both of those things. So, but this is a stencil that's been around for a while. It happens to be one of the ones that I really love, just because I think it's pretty basic. It's not super busy. It's kind of can make a very subtle, cool background. But I think it's cool to bring this back. And when you think about leaf, a lot of times I think about fall. So I thought it would be kind of fun to kind of go outside the box and not do fall with it. So this is the one I'm going to walk us through on a little bit different scale. I'm going to do it slightly differently. But again, this is a new leaf stencil with that new leaf foilet pack. And I used the pink quartz and then pink champagne. And just kind of added a sentiment and stuff to it. This sentiment was, I think it's All Together Occasions, I believe. That one was released a while back with the foilets, but I used the mosaic beech leaf, and I'm going to show you how I did that with the foil. And then also I used that same beech leaf with this one, and also that same pattern out of the foilet. And ink blended. These colors are honey, sweet potato, and mulled wine, and I will walk you through that if we have some time on the end with that one also. And added the foilet. This foilet pack came out on Tuesday from the Hello Lovely, and I really think that's cool to be able to do that in gold. This is the foilets, the simple strips, but I did not foil that. I just die cut it and left it with the black toner because I didn't want too much gold. I already have a strip over here and then the foil in the main image. So I see all your comments. Good morning, good morning. And then last but not least, this one. Excuse me, I have to have a sip. I have a frog in my throat. This one is that more the little flick in the middle of the petal or the leaf veining. This one I also continued with that theme of using the beech leaf. And this one I used like a blue tone to it. So this is started with spearmint, poblano, and then blue corn on the end, which there's very little blue corn, but the main card base too is poblano. And then this one is with silver foil. The You Are Amazing that came out this week too in our foilet release. That one I did put black foil over it, but you could leave it just as the toner sheet is and leave it black too. So yes, thank you all for joining in and saying good morning. So I'm gonna turn on my mink just so that can get heated up. I have it up here off screen, but we'll get it turned on, let that warm up. Okay. And I'm gonna kind of walk you through this one. I really loved this pink quartz and how that came out with our pink champagne ink. Really thought that was cool. I liked that look, and I thought it really gave the new leaf a different look other than leaves or fall or something like that. I thought this could be any occasion, any time of the year. It didn't have to be fall. So let me show you. This is one of the patterns. Like I said, there's this one, and then there's the one with that actually fills in one whole space. And then there's the little flicks which go in each one. One thing to tell you is to make sure that your stencil is right side up when you go to line these up. Ask me how I know. I was struggling the other day and I was like, why isn't this lining up? And it was because I had it backwards, and that just made that much of a difference for lining up my stencil. So that's how those line up, but let's get them foiled first. I'm gonna put this one in the pink quartz, and we'll do this one in the gold, and we'll do both of them while I've got my mink all heated up. I know Taylor showed you on Tuesday our new foil shim, or foil magic shim, or foil magic shim. I already have mine foiled out. I feel like it really is kind of a game changer. We've been using it here around the office for several months now, and it really is doing the trick and helping quite a bit. So I know the carrier sheets were out of stock. Sign up for the notifications when those come back in stock, or use parchment paper if you need for the time being. So I'm gonna go ahead. This one's gonna be the pink quartz. Let's just pull that out of there. And I'm kind of picky about how I cut my foil, so I always make sure you have a clean, not sticky scissors blade. That really helps a lot, so as to keep the foil from creasing or tearing, and then you get such a nice smooth cut. So really sharp blade, and then also something that your scissors cannot have any sticky residue left on it, which is highly possible in a crafter's room, right? I'm kind of one of those people. I have scissors for my sticky stuff, and I have a scissors marked for my non-sticky stuff. I used to say ribbon back in the day when we used ribbon all the time. We don't use ribbon quite as much anymore. So that's that one. Let me get the gold ready just so we're ready for the second one. And these both, I needed more foil up here, will go in our pouches. We in the studio here, we do store everything in the pouches. We really like that. I just had to pull new because we were low on these two this morning. So again, this one's the gold. I'm gonna do that with the one that's a little bit thicker lines. And I don't know why I keep rolling them back up, because they're gonna go in the pouches. I don't even need to bother. So we'll just set them aside. How about that? All right. My mink is all warmed up. Has anyone gotten the new shim and tried it? I'm curious. So one of the things is you might find that your mink can run on a little lower temp. It's worth a try. So mine at home, I can run on a 3. This mini one we found in the office can run on a 3. Just kind of pay attention. If you have a lot of wrinkling, you might need to go down. And I know you've heard us say, if you use the laminator, you need to heat it up. These don't really. Once they turn green, the light turns green, they're pretty much ready to go with the mink. I might give it just a minute, but you don't want them like screaming hot. So don't overheat these. And I do tend to, as soon as I'm done, try to turn it off. So again, I have my shim. So this is my carrier. My shim. I have my foilet panel with the black toner against the dull side of my foil. So again, this is the pink quartz, this is the dull side of it. And I always put the crease side, or that pocket where it's attached, through first and run that through. Let's see. Any other comments? Yay, some people are saying they're waiting for their orders to ship. I just didn't know if anyone had stopped in the studio and picked them up. Like I said, the design team had them for a little bit for this release, and then Taylor and I have been using them here in the office, these shims, and we really feel like it works really, really well. And just a little bit better. So if you're having any trouble, if you're doing fine with your foiling, that's great. This does, I know they said on the back of this packaging that it can be a little hot, because this does conduct the heat. If your fingers are sensitive, use your little mini mitts. I just always kind of grab it and then I let it cool. I do find that my foil just adheres just a little bit better if I let it cool, down all the way. It does make a difference for me. So I did one time, I pulled it out hot, pulled my foil panel out hot, peeled half of it while it was hot and let the other half cool down. And there was just a little bit of a difference in the shine from one side to the other. So if you ever have a piece that you know you don't need, or you just kind of want to test, that's something to test and you can see for yourself. So again, I have my carrier sheet, the Magic Shim, my foilet panel, and then my gold foil. And again, I know Taylor mentioned on Tuesday, because I watched her live, that if you have any black toner sticking out from underneath your foil, it will adhere to your carrier sheet. So if you want to keep it clean, you want to make sure you've got all your black covered. Let's run this one through. Again, I put the folded side in first, run that through. Well, welcome, Karen. I agree. Better late. This one is not really that wrinkled. Actually, where you do see some wrinkles, it's because it's in between the V's. This is not that bad. I've seen way worse. This is pretty smooth. So yeah, wrinkles usually can kind of mean that it's too hot. So run that through. I'm going to set that aside. And I did both of my foiling that I wanted to do, so we'll go ahead and set this aside. I'm going to turn my mink off. I know I want to do a sentiment later, but it heats up pretty quick. We'll turn it back on. But this is the pink quartz, and I really think that's cool. And I know Taylor showed you how you can recycle some of the foil you peel off. With this one, you don't, I'm not really sure. I mean, that's a cool look, but especially with the second one I'm going to peel here, I don't know if you'd need it, or if you could be creative. It's not, some of the patterns that are more like geometric, like these, like Taylor used the other day, those leftover pieces would be really cool to use. This one, you'd have to be a little more creative with it. So we'll peel up the gold now that that one's cooled. So that's that one. Isn't that pretty? I do like to foil first. If you forget and you want to foil, it's not earth-shattering. I would say go ahead and try it. I haven't had too bad of adverse reactions, but we usually say around here, go ahead and foil first. Okay, so I'm going to take this pink quartz and we will line this up with our new leaf stencil. And again, make sure you can see your etching of the TE and then the name of the stencil or the item number of the stencil. That tells you you're on the right side. I'm going to go ahead and take some teal tape and I'm going to adhere that to the back of my, I would say do this first. Get your tape out first, because once you get it all lined up and you don't have your tape, it's a little frustrating. So, get my glasses here. Line this up so you can see how those just peek through in all the openings. And then we will use a little tape, temporary tape, to adhere it together. A little bit of teal tape. There we go. Line that one up. And I'm going to use, like I said, I'm going to use pink champagne. And we're going to do just a little bit, very, very light hand of mulled wine on it also. So we'll start with our pink champagne. Start with blending our pink champagne. And this one I'm going to go all over this one with pink champagne. I did a lot of blends when I was testing this one out to see what I liked. You can do all kinds of things. I've got plenty to show you. This one with the little flicks, again, is the mulled wine, sweet potato. And this is actually peaches and cream. I ended up deciding later that I liked the honey a little bit better. But this one I'm doing an all over blend with it though. I think this could be really cute also with cupcake if you have that color. I just happened to use pink champagne because I thought it looked very similar in tone to the pink quartz foil. So let's peek, see if I like that. I wanted it very light, so I'm using a really light hand. And yeah, I really like that. Okay, so I'm gonna grab my little bitty brush. So I grabbed one of our smaller brushes that we use and our bitty brushes. I'm gonna take a little mulled wine and I'm talking very light hand. I'm going to take most all of it off. I'm just gonna go up the middle veining here of my leaves. If you are a heavy-handed person, I might use raspberry sorbet for this. If it's something that you struggle with getting a light tone, I would just go ahead and use raspberry sorbet. That would be the next kind of step down that would work. But I'm just going straight up this middle vein in the leaf, just to add some depth. Like I said, I do run most all my ink off, so just barely noticeable. Well, welcome. I like the getting here late. I do love my bitty brushes. I completely agree. It's just nice to add just a little something here and there. And I really think it gives life to blending if we're just using one color. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna peek, kind of hold it. So let's peek, see what we think. I want just a little more on some of these. I've taken my light hand to the extreme. Doesn't need to be all of them. Well, we made it to Tuesday, and I hope. Oh, and I don't have any tea to spill. Ooh, sorry. Might as well tell you that now. I just realized that. Next release will be good though. If Whitney hears me, she can bring me some tea to spill, but I did not grab anything. I forgot. That is the most important thing, right? So you can see just like in here, I have some depth of color on the bottom. Isn't that pretty? I just love those two colors with that pink quartz. So it's kind of fun to play with how, oh, Candy says, someone bring me tea. And with my scratchy throat, yeah, someone bring me tea. That would be great. Both kinds. How about the real kind too? That's funny. All right, so I thought this could be pretty even for a baby girl card or a anything. It's just such a soft, sweet tone, I thought. So this one, I was going on the idea of this card, kind of basically like this one. So I wanted to show you, this is going to be on our card base, so I can go ahead and adhere that while I'm at it. Just so I don't lose it. I knew that was going to happen. That's why I brought it back up. I looked at it right before my live and I was like, ooh, that looks like it's about ready to be done. And it was. So I took one of our heavy card bases, top folding, sugar cube, and adhere that down. All right, and I want to show you how I did this. Okay, there's two ways you can do it. I know there's the toner sheets from Decofoil, the ones that are all black, and you can run those through, adhere your foil to it, but they're a little lighter in weight, so then I always feel like I have to back them with something. So my preferred method is just to take whatever TE sugar cube and then the TE sticky sheets, and I adhere foil right to that. I do like to make sure my sticky sheet, which I know they're out of stock, but I talked with the warehouse and they are coming in soon, so sign up for the notification for when they're restocked. But this is the way I prefer to do it, because then I don't have to, the Decofoil toner sheets, the ones that look black, they're full toner, they're a little lighter weight, and I want some like stability, some sturdiness. So I like to use just our sticky sheets. So what I do is I take some of our sugar cube, and I do tend to try to do something that's a little smaller, because I don't want any of the sticky sheet hanging off of my sugar cube cardstock. You could make it exactly the same. This just happens to be my method. I always peel back just a corner to lay it down. This is to prevent wrinkles, and I'll do this again when I do the foil. But just peel that off, peel the backing straight off. And then I'm going to expose just a corner again. We'll take some of our pink quartz again. And if you wanted to conserve your foil, definitely cut this to the size of whatever die you're going to be using, because I am going to use the Subtle Sprigs. Is that the one wait a minute, I said that wrong. I would think both of these would be great, but the branch out is the one that I'm going to use. And you could cut it to exactly what you needed, just to make extra sure you weren't wasting any of your foil. I do keep mine, and I keep reusing them. The other thing I would say is that, and you know what? I'm going to show you as soon as I'm done doing this. So I'm going to peel up just the corner. So again, I'm not losing any, having any sticky hanging out or anything like that, and this will help me prevent wrinkles. So I just adhere down one of the corners, and then I use my fingers to walk this while I'm peeling the backing of this off, okay? So I will slowly move my fingers, because I just want to prevent those wrinkles from happening. And then when I get to the end here, there we go, I can press it all down, and then I can cut off any of this extra foil we're not going to use. And this is what I was going to say a second ago. It is kind of a good idea to go ahead and cut down this piece before you run it through, because as you will see, once it goes through the die cut machine, it really mars the foil. So I try to save it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just cut my piece as to exactly what I would need to cut out my branch so that I can use this extra for next time. Does that make sense? Because when you put it through the die cut machine, it really